Hello everyone and welcome to the Sew It Yourself pattern channel. In this video I will show you how to sew the Gloria Jumpsuit. And the first step is to serge all sides of the pockets and the side seams of the front and back pieces. And after that iron everything flat. And next, make small markings on the side seams to indicate where the pockets will be placed. To do this, take a ruler and measure 4 centimeters down from the top of the pants along the side seam. And after that, take your pockets and place them on the marked areas with the right side of the pockets facing the right side of the pants and secure them with some pins. And repeat this on both front and back pieces. And then you're ready to sew along the straight edge with a 1 centimeter seam allowance. And after sewing, give them a good press. And also fold the pockets over and give them again a good press. And the next step is to top stitch along the seams to secure the pockets in place. And the next step is to place the front and back pieces right sides together to close the side seams, including the pockets. And here you can see where we will sew with a 1 centimeter seam allowance. And now to close the legs, place the back pants right sides together with the front pants again and start sewing from the crotch down to the bottom of one leg. And to close the crotch seam, take one leg and place it inside the other, aligning the right side of the back crotch with the right side of the back crotch and the front crotch with the front crotch, and secure them with some pins. And now we can start with the top. The first step is to serge the center front, 2 sides of the front facing and 1 side of the back facing. And now change the settings on your sewing machine to a 4 mm stitch to gather the front piece. And then pull only on one thread to gather it nicely. And gather both front pieces so that this section measures 6 centimeters in length. And next, place the front pieces right sides together and sew along the 6 centimeters gather section and the center front. Make sure to leave the front opening unstitched. And don't forget to adjust your sewing machine settings to a 2 or 2.5 mm stitch. Then you can begin sewing. And now press the seam allowance of the center front well. And for the next step, take both front-facing pieces and place them right sides together. Sew them together along the short edge. Again, make sure to leave the front opening unstitched. And then again, give it a good press. And after that, take the front facing and place it right sides together with the front piece, secured around the neckline with a few pins. And do the same with the back facing. Place it right sides together with the back piece and secure it with a few pins. And now sew along both the front and back neckline. And then give the seam a good press and iron the seam allowance to the front or back facing. And then sew exactly on the seam allowance to secure it. And the next step is to turn the front and back facing into the top and give it a good press. And for the next step, take your front piece again and lay both front openings exactly on each other and secure them together with a few pins. And then sew them together. And for the next step, take your strap and fold the long strap right sides together along its length to form the strap. Pin if needed. And make sure to leave a gap of around 4 to 5 centimeters to turn the strap later. And now you can start sewing the strap. And then trim the seam allowance a bit, especially for a nice finish at the beginning and the end of the strap. And to turn the strap right side out, use a needle or a pen. Insert it through one end between the fabric layers and gently push the head of the tool through the tube, wiggling and pulling until it comes out through the opening, and repeat it for the other end of the strap. And once the strap is fully turned, close the opening with a few stitches. And then give the strap a good press. And to close the side seams, place the front and back pieces right sides together. Then fold the front facing over the back facing to create a clean finish on the inside. And now you can sew both side seams together. And now your top is finished and you can put the strap through the hole. And for the next step, take your top and align the side seams to find the center back and mark the center back point with a pin. And the next step is to place your top inside the pants with the right sides together and align the right side of the center back of the top with the right side of the center back of the pants. And do the same for the center front and also match the side seams of the top with the side seams of the pants. And then secure everything else in place with a few pins. And then you can sew the top and pants together along the pinned edge. Next, take your elastic, measure your waist and then cut the elastic to match your waist. And then put the beginning and the end of the elastic together and sew them together with a few stitches so it forms a closed loop. And to attach the elastic evenly, divide it into 4 equal sections, center front, center back and both side seams, and mark these points with pins. And now align the elastic with the jumpsuit, so the 4 marked points are on the corresponding points on the seam where the top and pants are joined, center front, center back and both side seams. This ensures that the elastic is distributed evenly. And now you can either pin the elastic in place or you just sew while you stretch, but just make sure that the 4 anchor points are secured and that the elastic is distributed equally. And now you can start sewing, and as you can see, I always stretch on both sides at the beginning and at the end to make sure that it is in the right flow and that it is distributed evenly. And the last step is to finish the hem. First, serge the raw edge at the bottom of the legs. And then make a marking at 4 centimeters from the edge. Fold the fabric up at that line and sew directly along the fold, or for an even cleaner finish you can fold the hem twice as I did. First fold up 2 centimeters, then fold another 2 centimeters and sew along the edge to secure it. And now you're ready to sew along the hem. And then you're finished with your Gloria jumpsuit. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask.